Apple products, I gotta go to Apple manufacturing. And I think since we're all manufactured by God, we have to go to the one who made us.
That's right.
And since He provided us with that manual, that manuscript, that's our clear assurance to know, is my identity, is it in alignment? Is it?
What is up, everybody, and welcome to our very first episode of Conversations in the Hood. My name is Jose Alvarez, and I am here with my big brother. Big bro, how you doing? Tell us who you are.
Man, I'm doing all right. Joel Lancaster. Feeling blessed to be here this morning with you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, so we did not come alone. We brought along two of our other brothers. We brought Mr. Smooth and Groove, Asley, Pollas.
Wow,
the first
Mr. Smooth and Groove. Okay, don't try to hashtag that.
Appreciate you all tuning in, man. I'm really excited to be amongst these brothers to have this conversation. So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, definitely. So, Conversations in the Hood, we're just here, man, to have some fun and reach all of our young adults, especially our males. We're just here to talk about the three best hoods out there: manhood, fatherhood, and brotherhood. So, without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about manhood real quick. I think we've reached, I think we stopped growing at 18 is what science says. So, technically on paper, we're already men. But aside from the physical attributes, what else makes you a man?
Well, I mean, if y'all don't mind,
Yeah, go for it.
I'm a little older, a little seasoned, so I have to write my stuff down so I can remember it. Yeah.
Ooh, the seasoning. I like it.
Seasoned. So as we said earlier, by growth, we are men. By the definition of law and paper, 18, they consider you an adult, you're a man. As age goes on, people consider you a man. But I don't think that's what really makes men men. I think the maturity level is what makes a man. When we start actually understanding our actions have consequences in all aspects of life, I think then we actually hit that manhood, to understanding, like, hey, I have to understand, like, what I do has a cause and effect.
Right.
No longer selfish. See, child, selfish. Man produces growth, and they make other things grow. So when we get to that stage in life, I feel like we actually hit manhood.
Right.
Like, that's manhood for me, when we understand that it's no longer about I, but it's about what I can help produce and come to fruition. So that's manhood for me.
18. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the joy of the journey when it comes to manhood, is figuring out, okay, what it really means to be a man in your household, what it really means to be a man amongst your brothers.
To my mind about manhood is this idea of what Joel mentioned, which is servanthood. So real manhood is understanding that I'm not first, but I will probably be second and help the other ones that are seconds as well.
I like that.
So, I want to start off with you. Who taught you how to be a man?
Woo! Good thing you started with him.
I know. I was hoping that he would have asked Asley first. I was like, geez, don't let him pick me first. Don't let him pick me first. Not it.
That eye contact.
But before I even answer that, you made me think of the scripture. I think it was in 1 Corinthians, like chapter 13 said, when I was a child, I did childish things.
Yes.
I put those things away. So, you know what I'm saying? That's that child mentality and the selfish thing when we no longer ourselves. But who taught me about manhood? I say I learned about manhood from my environment, or I would say even further, all the men in my life, or all the men that thought they were men in my life. I took something from each and every last one. So what I felt was good, I would take that good, and I would throw away anything else that I didn't need. Not saying I didn't enjoy them being in my life, but not one man could teach me the true definition of manhood by himself.
Right.
I'm still learning how to teach my sons about manhood. I can't teach them everything about manhood, so I can't be selfish and not want another man to pour into their life.
Right. It's good.
Because it's something that I'm still struggling with, and I'm still trying to develop. Manhood is a continuous developmental as we go through life. I don't think it ever stops, and when it stops, you're dead.
Right.
That's the only time it's going to stop.
Real talk.
Right.
You know, so even with that, there were plenty of men in my life, and I thank every last one of them because they all had something to do with me becoming a man.
For sure.
And
For sure.
the ones that poured into my life spiritually, that's where I'm learning even more about manhood. So the Word of God continues to feed me and educate me on what manhood is. You know, so that's how I'm learning. You know, but throughout life, several men, all those that came into that circle that God allowed to come into that circle. So not just one, it was many men.
Right.
And I'm still learning.
I hear you. But then as I continue to grow, and as I continue to grow in that book, and as I relied on that book a little bit more, that's when the unlearning began. So I did take some bad, did take some good, but now I know where my sort of compass is. And so everything I see in you and you and you as a man, I measure it up against that book.
Right.
To know whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think for me, I learned from my dad, right? How to be a man that provides for his family, how to work really hard, right? And how to just be committed. I've learned from churchmen in my life on, you know, prayer, why is that important? Fasting, why is that important?
Let me just add one thing, Jose. I mean, I'm sure that the three of us, you know, who are married will agree with this. But I'm sure, Jose, you'll also agree with it that if you find a good woman too, she'll teach you what it means to be a man, right?
Yes.
Wow. And the prayer is that she had a good father and a good example in her life. But women are so important in teaching you what you need to do as a man,
They do.
as a spiritual man. And I'll say, you know, while my wife is great and she has challenged me to be a better man for her, I also saw my mom do something similar to my dad. You know what I mean? So
What question you got for us?
One that I looked at yesterday, that really I wanted to hear some answers.
okay.
The greatest challenge that
Being a
men
man?
face.
That men face.
Today.
See, we didn't get the questions before.
I know.
That's just something I'm hey. You know what I'm saying? This come with seasons. You know what I'm saying? That you
The seasons, we're going back.
the seasons, you know, you reach out and get those answers, you know.
I think the greatest challenge that, well, there are two things for me. These both, I'm always end up in contradiction. So I think the peace comes when we've understood who we need to become from an identity standpoint from the Lord, and then believe that God will give us the grace, the mercy, and the power to walk it out. And then once those things become one, then that challenge of being a man becomes lesser and lesser and lesser.
Listen here, if you go online, I need you to go ahead and type in amen. Type in amen.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta give you something on that. I gotta give you something on that. I gotta give you something on
It's
that.
a challenge, you know, but I think we make that choice every day as to who we're going to become and where we're going to choose to go. And whether you're proactive about it or reactive about it, the choice is still happening because that time on that clock is still ticking.
Still ticking. Time.
Two different locations. I'm up 1 o'clock in the morning last night, and I'm just going over these things. I'm writing down, you know, what's on my mind. And what you just said, and I already said, I can't speak for all men. We can't speak for all
Right,
men.
we can't.
This is, you know, conversation in the hood, you know what I'm saying? It's men, you know, we talking, you know, what men go through, but we're not speaking for all men, you know what I'm saying? But we speaking what we went through and what, you know, some guys that we know have gone through also. And what Asley just said, I wrote down, simple word, honesty.
Yes, yes.
What you just said, if I was to break it down in a simpler way, it would be honesty. And what I say by honesty means being true to who you really are. Because like he said, we're fighting with society versus what our God tells us is who we are. So we're trying to play this man and this man, not only for the outside world, but even sometimes for us,
Yes.
like our wife, or for my son, or for you. I'm so many different roles. I'm playing all these different roles. But if I just align myself with the true role,
Yes.
be honest on who this is, then everything else will be fulfilled simply. And so it'll just go so smooth. So I wrote down honesty, you know, and that was the biggest challenge. That is sometimes the biggest challenge, even now. I mean, just to stay in line with who you are. Like, just be you. Like, don't conform to nobody else's, you know what I'm saying, like, thought of who you should be, or, you know, hey, I don't have to be anybody else. to get along. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to conform to nobody else's liking. Just be me.
Yeah.
You know, just be who God want me to be. And I know it's conversations in the hood and everything like that. I mean, but you know, we are spiritual, and you know what I'm saying, I believe in Jesus Christ. So hey,
Right.
you know, that's where I lean on. But when I wasn't in the church, I leaned on what was most common to me, and that was who I hung with, who I associated with. You know, so I wasn't being honest even then,
Yeah.
because I was trying to conform to who I was associating myself with. You know, now that I'm here, you know, I don't try to associate myself or try to make myself look like this person or that person. I'm just gonna be me.
Yeah.
You know, and either you like me for who I am or you don't. You know, but I'm standing on my own 2 feet. You know, and it's just being honest. So, greatest challenge for me was being honest.
Yes.
Simply saying.
You know what the two of you are talking about as I'm listening, I'm just thinking about Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm just thinking about, you talk about power.
Yeah.
This we're talking about the Son of God.
Yes. Yes.
Came down to earth.
I had
Got
to
the line.
I
Get straight, man.
fix up my whole posture, just
Yeah.
alignment. Yes.
Alignment. That's the word that I keep thinking about. Align yourself with Jesus. Because that's the example we should be following. In how to be a husband, and how to be a brother, and how to be a man, and how to be whatever identity you're talking about. Because I was listening to you talking about, you know, being a father and a husband and being an example for your son, and then I think about the messages that the world will tell us about how to do that.
Yeah.
No, you gotta align yourself with Jesus.
Jesus.
Those are the messages you need to be paying
Yes.
attention to.
Yes.
And that'll teach you how to be a father. That'll teach you how to be, I mean, the Bible's got, it's got information for us to do anything and everything.
Manuscript.
It's a manuscript.
Yes.
Align yourself with the manuscript. Align yourself with the superhero who did everything correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about is alignment as I listen to y'all talk.
And for Apple products, I gotta go to Apple manufacturing. And I think since we're all manufactured by God, we have to go to the one
That's
who
right,
made
that's
us.
right, that's right.
And since He provided us with that manual, that manuscript, that's our clear assurance to know, is my identity, is it in alignment?
Get in alignment.
Is my belief system, is it in alignment? Right? The way that I'm living, what I'm pursuing, is it in alignment with the manufacturer's handbook? If it ain't, then you know where to get that support system from. The manufacturer.
Period.
I think this is where we should end.
Period.
Drop the mic, right? So she